I mean, that's bringing about quite lots and lots of confusions. But when I try to interact with one of the trade leader, like leading a trade community, you know, he was emphasizing this aspect of if, according to what is happening right now, if the traders could embrace the local circles, the traders circles, because probably these give out at quite relatively friendly rates, you know, can be like 10%, you know, or less than that. And also the traders were encouraged to totally avoid loans in such a time, unless you're sure that what you're going to invest in is really worth it. And you know, still, I was reading some a report that's from the Trading View Economics regarding that, and it is projected that actually this inflation might rise by the Bank of Uganda. That's in 2020, 2023, 2024. 2023 it will be projected at about 8%, 10%. Then it will stabilize, I think, in 2024 back to 5%. So you can see with what is that. But of course the aim is to ensure that they contain the current inflation pressures, though I don't know whether it's been effective, because we've seen our inflation rising the last 7 months, literally. Right now we're at 7.3, right? 7.3%. So, but still then, the central bank rate has been adjusting, if you have to compare, you know, over time, because just in 1 year. So, but it doesn't seem to solve the problem it's intended to. Okay. So that's what is really keeping the traders and the other responsible stakeholders in this money economy that is keeping them having quite a lot of questions on their mind regarding that.
And just of course, if you need to as well understand that this week started on a high note with the fact that the country was celebrating 60 years of independence, and of which there are lots of key highlights from the economic space, with the visiting heads of states highlighting that the economic integration across the bloc will be very vital and pivotal for the growth of the East African community, as well as the economy of all the member states. And of course, that is something that we can don't agree less about. And lastly, Andrew, among the top topics of discussion that we did have,
the importation of the president.
Yes, because President Museveni did mention on Sunday that he is not going to stop Tanzanian rice from
coming into Uganda.
So as other traders were actually saying, it shouldn't be so for us to import rice. Yes, we do have rice in here as well. Uganda. But in your interaction with some of the traders, what quality do we have? The better quality rice, and that which comes from,
yeah.
Look at the brands like the Basmat, and then
the Basmat,
and the other brands that come from Tanzania and the other countries.
Well, okay. First of all, when I interacted with some of the wholesale traders, he told me, first of all, the truth is the manufacturing, like the local growers, let me say the local farmers that grow rice here in Uganda, it's not enough. It actually needs to be complemented with something. Now, the reasons he gives is that, first of all, now there is a type he mentioned, a type of rice, whereby he said that this one is grown in Uganda, but the challenge is that the weather conditions, it's very sensitive to weather conditions. And you know, you find that some of these are sustained by irrigation schemes. Because currently, I think we have one in Kibimba irrigation, you know, those schemes. And you find that due to insufficient funds, that makes it really difficult for the local growers to really produce something that can satisfy the local market that's in Uganda. Okay. Then the traders are also talking about the other reason why they think it's not the production is not enough. People are chased away from the wetlands, yet rice grows perfect in the wetlands.
Okay.
So, so many others. And definitely, you find that in Uganda we have our rice, which Super One. But the challenge is that it cannot compete Tanzania's first brand. I think it's, actually the name has skipped my mind. Super TZ, yes. Okay. You know, Super TZ, still that, but still, we okay. Our rice is okay, but just that the production, it's just a collective effort that the government has to involve. You know, like I've told you, irrigation schemes, and this needs money. This is a heavy investment, and also rice grows perfect in wetlands.
Regards to the fact that sometimes we may be able to produce the rice, but then the issue to do with filling the capacity of the customer base or the consumer space may be difficult for some, and that is one of the reasons as to why government ensures that also we import some of these particular agricultural products. But then on the other hand, when President Museveni says we will not stop the Tanzanian rice from hitting the market, it's also availing market to our neighboring countries, or to the East African Community member states. In that way, you are helping trade to grow within the region. And it's something that we can only ask the government to streamline so that even our traders can easily have markets away from Uganda.
Away from Uganda, yeah, that is true. That is very true. And yeah, you talked about the East African integration, encouraging market within, like among us, the nations. It's very key due to its benefits, definitely, because once a region grows, you know, it's very interesting that what really makes these big organizations, like we see that, like the European Union, you know, there is that thing that if you are in a region together, and you trade amongst yourselves together, you develop a certain, what we call a competitive advantage amongst you, whereby, for example, due to that togetherness, you can develop a product whereby no region in the world can actually outcompete you. So the same applies to in here. It may not be rice in particular, but it could be something else, and it's very, very important. So beneficial to the growth of the East African community. Correct, yeah.
All right, now Andrew, with as we're summing up with the show today, your final remarks as we're heading into the weekend, and what should people expect in the Smart Tech Show tonight?
Oh, Smart Tech Show tonight, definitely. That's very interesting. Of course, tonight we're going to look at the visual impairment machine. That is going to, it's very essential to the people that are totally blind. You know, it helps the blind people to navigate the environment around you. You can actually be moving around, and it will tell you there is an obstacle in front. It can sense obstacles, and definitely there will be a voice speaking to you, telling you turn left, turn right. Wow, very interesting. And you know, it's very interesting that actually these are local innovations done by our students here in Uganda.
All right.
Imagine that.
And as we're heading into the weekend, just to remind you, Smart Tech is a show that are dedicated to giving you details to do with the technology space and innovation in Uganda. Well, we also have Farm Smart, still a show that is basically looking at the agricultural sector in Uganda, and you can definitely keep up with that by sticking to Smart 24 TV. And over the weekend as well, on Saturday, we have a show that is dedicated to focusing on the young people in business and entrepreneurship. That is The Lounge, every Saturday at 11 a.m. And you can definitely get more of those particular updates. The Point kicks off your Saturday programming in the morning. So those are all shows that are dedicated to giving you all the updates, and so is Women in Business. As we wind up with our discussion today, we wish you a great week, a great weekend ahead of you. We shall definitely catch up with you on Monday. Coming up at 10:30 will be Financial Markets with Anthony Sebale. Later on at 1 p.m. will be Uganda to Kole with Fred Makuya, and you will expect more of the other programmings that also include Jenkorera with Hassan Luga late in the night. And tonight at 9 p.m. do make a date with Rona Nahawe to give you more of the daily report in regards to business today. Have a blessed weekend, a good day, good morning.